markets at lunch on ET Now.
Okay, time to get to the street view at lunch. We're joined live by Anil Rego of Right Horizons. Anil, afternoon. First up, your view on the aviation pack. We've seen them rally in trade today on the back of the government's move to look at allowing them to directly import air turbine fuel. We're increasingly hearing good noises as far as reforms are concerned. Even on FDI and aviation, there seems to be a forward movement. How would you position yourself as far as the aviation pack is concerned?
Sure. I think definitely from a standpoint of the macro factors of the industry, after a long negative news flow, for a change, things are turning positive there, and it will definitely benefit them in terms of lower ATF prices, and so there will be a direct cost benefit there. However, a lot of them are in huge negatives. That is something to worry about. The second issue is, the Kingfisher stuff on the borrowings and, how they're able to roll over some of the loans. What are they able to do to restructure? Will it come in early enough? So there's a lot of concerns, around the industry, but I think, an investor who has probably a higher risk appetite can look at positions in this. But maybe for a long-term, safer investor, probably leave it out of their pack. But at a time like this, when suddenly all risk-oriented stocks are doing well, you may just find that some of these just pull back very sharply. So I think rather good for operators, but for investors, maybe just wait out, watch for how the numbers are panning out, and then take a decision to enter into the sector.
Anil, we've got Mahindra and Mahindra slated to come out with its numbers just minutes from now. What is the expectation, and more importantly, given the valuation the stock is trading at, what would you prefer in the entire auto space?
Sure, M&M definitely has been a good, strong blue chip stock, and I think it will continue to do well. They have got a few wins for it. The XUV is doing well. They've reopened, for fresh orders, and I don't see any issues on maybe the revenue front. I think what one would like to watch in the results is, how are they faring on the cost front, and how are they managing the cost pressures. I think the cherry and the icing will be actually to see how SsangYong Motors, the acquisition, pans out, and I think over the next few quarters, if they are able to successfully integrate it, then that could definitely provide some decent upside for the stock.
Anil, what's your view on the Nifty? Do you think it's best if investors slip into a wait and watch mode, because we've seen quite a phenomenal rally over the last month and a half, and the market almost seems to be discounting negative news. The GDP data today, for instance, we're looking at GDP growth in FY12 of under 7%, not had too much of an impact on the market.
Sure, that's a reflection of how the market perspective is. So, one thing you must keep in mind, that the market is predictive. So many times you will find that, why is the market actually going up so strongly, and afterwards you will actually realize, the numbers start falling in place. If you see small data points are, beginning to turn good. The HSBC PMI, suddenly the steepest jump. So I think one will have to wait and watch. However, for an investor, after a market has run up so sharply, I think it's best to wait out. I would believe markets typically give one more chance to enter. So wait it out. And on corrections, I think definitely one should be looking at it. Of course, I believe that the news and the perspective has turned positive. So one needs to be careful not to be left out completely. So if you miss out on deploying cash, you may regret if it actually ends up into a clear turnaround or long-term story.
Anil, the next big catalyst that the market is going to be watching out for is the budget. What is it that one should price in by way of sectoral specific news?
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure on the government today, and I would hope they use the budget well. I think there should be some bit of infra push, and I believe that is what will help. I really hope that something is done for the power sector particularly, because it's a grave need for us, There's huge power generation which is required, but the numbers for the companies are not looking good at all. They have enough and more of problems there. So I would hope that some incentives and reforms come into the power sector there. Also, broadly, one would want to see how it pans out for the individual. The big thing is the DTC. One needs to see whether the DTC actually comes out. I'm a little skeptical about whether it happens in this chaotic environment there. But definitely, I would hope that the government takes the advantage of it and comes out with reforms. I think much needed today, to see that some positive, government clarity and reforms come in, for the markets to actually sustain its rally.
All right, Anil, we'll leave it at that. Good chatting with you as always. That's the Street View coming in on markets at lunch. Time to shift focus and talk about European equities.